let's talk Black Friday. For those of you that don't know, it is Black Friday here in the internet and people selling products. You can buy all sorts of shit on sale. And that's no stranger in Dungeons & Dragons Online. We have lots of stuff on sale. So what is on sale? 85% off the Masterminds of Shan and the DDO expansion Trove, 60% off Fables of the Feywild, and 50% off Saltmarsh. So, are these the best deals ever? This deal is insane and is very good. The Fables deal is not the best. They have done 75. Will they do 75 at Christmas time? I don't know. Probably not. I'm going to move you back over here because I'm not covering anything. So I don't know about that. And then Saltmarsh. You don't really need to buy the big Saltmarsh. So let's take a look at what you actually get out of the expansion bundles here. So we'll take a look. So let's go down to show more. So the expansion Trove. So this is 9 bones. And this is Ravenloft. And then all of the Evening Star content. For $9, you can't see the dollar value, but for $9, okay? This is, if you're somebody who's like more free to play, what is this? Like 600-ish, almost 700 favor of easily accessible quests that allow you to easily level through the game. Ravenloft gives you some of the best weapons and armor and equipment in heroics. It's also very cool in an extremely iconic area. So very, very good content, and many people regard Ravenloft as the best expansion ever to hit DDO. For 9 bones. So, something to think about. It's a pretty good deal in my opinion. So keep that in mind. So, the expansion Trove, in my opinion, is definitely worth the $9 that it is right now. So this is going to be quite good. Can you upgrade existing pack at the sale price? Only if it's Saltmarsh and beyond. The next is Masterminds of Shan. For $6, Shan equipment is still good enough to be used in endgame raids. So if you own this expansion, you can do anything you want in the endgame. Additionally, if you're a free-to-play player and you can only buy one thing, my suggestion is to buy Shan. Because Shan, at $6, gives you 17 quests from level 15 to 16, and a saga. A saga is if you do all of the quests and hand them in, you get a bonus after that. And the bonus can be in huge XP values. This will allow you to make that gap from 15 to 20 on its own. It is a pretty good deal. However, for $19, you can get the Shan Ultimate Fan Bundle. Now, the reason why I want you to consider this one is because, sure, it comes with a bunch of cosmetics, and maybe you don't care about cosmetics. And that's perfectly fine. You don't have to. Also, you get the Tiefling race, which is now free, because it used to come with the expansion. But why should you consider buying it if you happen to have the cash for a little, it's $20 for a birthday present for yourself? Universal Tree Inquisitive. This gets added to your account. This is the Universal Tree Inquisitive is the bread and butter of like a lot of beginner spellcasting character or ranged characters. Inquisitive is the dual wielding crossbow, and it's unbelievable for Hardcore League. It's very, very fun, and it is probably one of the smoothest leveling ranged characters in the game. And because it's universal, you can play it on any race or any class, which is fantastic. Definitely something I would consider as a pickup here. If you do buy Shan for $6, you can then get the Inquisitive Tree by doing the content. You don't have to pay for this. But it's unlocked on the account, so it's always active on all of your characters. But that's not all you get. You also get 140 Ashla Shards, which is like, I think 700 DDO points or something worth of value just right there, plus a bunch of other stuff, which is pretty nice. But most importantly, you get 3 more things, or 4 more things. First, the Dimensional Augment Bag that holds 500 unique items. Augment Bags are really important for endgame because they hold filigrees, which are like these little, like, basically like they're little socketable jewels you put in for stats. They're really good, and there's a lot of them. So this is a fantastic item. In the store alone, I think this is like 1,600 points or something like that, or even more. So, huge deal. The Scoundrel Iconic is better Spellsinger. If you want to play a Spellsinger Bard, Scoundrel is literally better than Tiefling. It's just point for point better. There is nothing worse about it. It is exclusively, strictly better. And also, if you play a Scoundrel, all your spellcasts use a fiddle, which is fun. So you can do that as well. There's the Forge Wraith Weapon Aura. The reason why the Weapon Aura here is cool is it just has a neat glow. This is just a consumable cosmetic you can use. It's just a cool cosmetic. It looks interesting, but not essential. But a universal tree enhancement point tome for every character. Now, this is the biggins. This is the big one. I'm going to show you guys my DDO in-game store here. So if I want to buy a tome, universal... I don't know if it lets me buy a universal point tome. Yeah, one universal point tome from Shan is 3,500 DDO points. So if you have 2 characters, that's 7,000 points you got to spend on tomes. Is this price inflated? Yes, it is way too high and it should not be this high, but it is what it is. That's what the price is. But this is $20 and it gives you a tome for every character you ever make till the end of the game or the game's existence. So, if you're somebody who is just starting out, the expansion Trove is a fantastic deal. It's got lots of great content. It's really fun, and it's got a lot of content. This is enough content to be able to level comfortably from 20 to 30, so you'll be very happy with that. And you got some endgame stuff in Ravenloft. That's cool. Shan, if you're somebody who is like looking at more effectiveness and wants to finish off that heroic tier of leveling, the $6 Shan deal is great. It really fits in. And with this together, that's 15 bones. And you can get now your character, once you get access to Shan, you can join parties. You can run your way all the way from, 15 all the way up to level 30, do 32, get the stuff from Shan for doing raids and stuff. There's a lot of good gear out there. And if you're interested in investing in your account, this is a huge deal. Again, why did they charge $130? You also get all the cosmetics. I didn't talk about the cosmetics. They look good. I like them. I will use them regularly. I really like the High Society cosmetic. It's like a blue captain's outfit, like a ship captain. It looks great. And the hirelings are actually not bad. This is one of the better hirelings, the Shield Guardian hireling. So again, it's a pretty reasonable deal if you want to invest in your account. This is probably the best purchase you can make if you want to invest in the future of your account. Is this one? So if you're thinking about it, I just don't want anyone to miss it. Now let's look at the other deals. Feywild at half price. It's not bad, or 60% off. It's not bad. The regular Feywild is good. The thing about Feywild is that it doesn't have the same value that it used to. This used to be a expansion that everyone's using for bits and pieces of gear. Now, especially if you own Vecna, you don't really need Feywild anymore, I would say. There's only a couple items that really stand out here in terms of their niche value, and that's due to the stress of trying to put sets together. That being said, you do get access to the Shifter Race. Feywild is like my favorite expansion. It's just my favorite. I love the content, the visuals, the music, the story. It's great. I'm a huge fan of the Feywild, and I love it. It's really, really fun. And I still think a lot of the equipment is good. And for Hardcore League, this is where the bread and butter of equipment comes through, because the winter set is way too good for Hardcore League. Should you buy the Ultimate Fan Bundle? It's a lot more expensive. So if you're somebody who is looking to invest in their account and you have more money than like $25 to put into the account, you want to spend more, plus one Tome of Destiny for every character is fantastic. And the Fade Arc Illusionist tree is used on pretty much every single spellcaster in DDO. Fade Arc Illusionist is really, really good. Now, of course, you can unlock the Fade Arc Illusionist by playing the content. So if you buy the content and then do it on Elite difficulty, you unlock Fade Arc Illusionist for that character anyway. But again, the benefit of buying it here is you get it accessible on your character at level 1 when you make it. You don't have to go play the content, which is good for stuff like Hardcore, which is great. Yes, and also Feywild leveling gear at level 5, you can make a whole set that will make your character 10 times stronger than the next person standing next to you. $52? I'm not going to say it's a must-buy by any stretch of the imagination in comparison to like the Shan. This is, again, if you see yourself playing DDO in 2 months from now, if you can scrape together $20, I would highly, highly, highly recommend it because it's gonna pay for itself very, very quickly. Feywild, again, if you want it, sure, but the expansion for $16 is still pretty good. People run the raids from it regularly. People do the endgame content. And if you're like, oh, but I want to get the unicorn, but I want to get the unicorn mount because you get mounts from this. Like, I would love to get a unicorn mount, but I don't want to have to, it's like, but I don't want to spend the money. You can earn the mount from the raid in Fables of the Feywild, which, again, people run literally every couple of days, and nobody wants the mounts anymore because everyone has them. So they just get left in the chest all the time. So you can get one really easily. Saltmarsh is half price. Do you need the Ultimate Fan Bundle of Saltmarsh? I don't even remember what you got for this. No, probably not. $10. Saltmarsh is great. The content is good. It's fantastic endgame content. It's a pretty good deal. And $10 is not that expensive, especially considering it gives you access to epic crafting, which is still some of the best equipment in the game. One of the best and most ground-shaking items, both positively and negatively, in the past 2 years that has been added to the game is the Gem of Many Facets, and it only comes from here. So, yeah. Saltmarsh has some good stuff. The story is great. The visuals are great, and it is a reference to the actual Saltmarsh pen and paper book from the 80s, and they actually have one of the dungeons which is actually entirely based off it. They have the old map overlaid over top of it. It's very, very cool. So, should you buy the big Saltmarsh bundle? I'm not going to recommend it, but other people might. So you can if that sounds interesting to you. And then Isle of Dread and Vecna are of course not on sale. Should you buy Isle of Dread? I love Isle of Dread. I think it's an incredible expansion. It's very, very good. It's a lot of fun. It's $40. It's just not on sale, but it's still pretty good. And people run some of the best equipment in the game is Isle of Dread. I just looking at my hardcore character for the next season, and my gear is mostly Isle of Dread and Vecna. So, it is what it is. And same thing with Vecna. It's the latest content. It's very good. It's very fun. So consider that. I just said, in terms of buying, if you're new, expansion Trove, $9, great deal. Will pay for itself very quickly, because just running this content pack one time on Elite is going to earn you, what, almost 20 or a little over 200 DDO points. At which point you can then use that to start buying other packs, and then this is also good for repetition for the leveling process. Sharn alone is that get you through heroics, and then also has some of the best equipment ever added to DDO. The Sharn 8 Ultimate Fan Bundle for $20 is a fantastic account investment and a very good investment in your account, because again, you get one of these points on every character you make, which is just so valuable. And finally, Feywild, also pretty good, and then Saltmarsh, also pretty good. But I would recommend $10 Saltmarsh and probably $16 Feywild as opposed to the other ones. But if you're like, man, you know what? I just got, a big check or something, and you're like, I got a couple $100 to burn, then this is a good time to do it, to get the bundles that you got the deals on. But as I said, that's kind of my opinion on some of these. If we got regular Sharn, can I buy Ultimate now? You can. It's not going to give you the discount. That's the other thing too. Saltmarsh, if you own Saltmarsh regular, and then you buy the Ultimate Fan Bundle, it's going to give you the difference. So as you can see here, upgrade from standard, it's $40 instead. So it's the upgrade. But they started that with Saltmarsh. So the older expansions don't have the upgrade model, so you can't do that with them. That is correct. Yeah, you unfortunately cannot do the upgrade with the older content. The store just didn't have the capacity to do that in the past, so they only have it built in for the newer content models, which is annoying and is stupid. So I agree that I wouldn't want to rebuy Sharn again for sure, but also man, that's crazy. But yeah, so I feel you on that one. I understand why anyone would not be motivated to do that if they already own it. So yeah. Anyway, that's my opinion on the expansions and what you should and shouldn't buy. So hopefully that has been good and helpful. Shrimp Tom expansion buying guide for this. The other thing to talk about with the Black Friday sales, Traveler's Trunks are 75% off, and Stat Tomes are 50% off. And the Tomes of Learning are 35% off. So let's look at each of these things. So the tomes, I don't know if it'll let me buy stat tomes. Tome. Supreme Tomes. Here we go. So +8 is on sale right now. It is only $28.73. This is +8 to all the stats on one of your characters as a permanent effect. So if your character, it's just permanent. It's permanent to all of the core stats. This is really powerful and very good. Do you need to buy it? I wouldn't necessarily say so. Again, we do hardcore and we do Reapers at endgame without any tomes, because it's expensive, and me and many other people don't want to buy them, so we don't. So I wouldn't say that this is necessary by any stretch of the imagination, but you could if you wanted to. But it is a nice bonus. You can also earn these tomes from raids. So for example, I was in a raid yesterday, and a +8 charisma tome dropped, and somebody just gave it to somebody else. Now they have a +8 tome. So you definitely don't need to buy these either. You can do raids, and they do drop, and people trade them and other things. So that is something to think about there. However, if we go to the sales, not just to tome sales, there's so much crap in the store. What was this? The Trove? What is it called? It's called the Trunk. The Trunk. Now this is a different deal. So this is 1,000 points for the remnant boots don't matter, the hands don't matter, the cosmetic doesn't matter. Actually, most of the stuff doesn't matter. 5 Sovereign 1 potions, 5 Major Slayer boosts, 100 Astral Shards. So this alone, the Sovereign experience potions and the Slayer count boosts, I think that's worth like 2,200 or something like that. So with the, let me just look it up. So experience. So let's look at the potions. Sovereign, majors, mediums, Sovereign 1. So Sovereign 1 for 5 is 1,600. So alone, this is already higher than the 900. It's already like 700 points higher than the 900 point Traveler's Trunk for just the potions alone. You also get the Slayers and the Major Slayers, which are here. Major Slayers, majors. 5, that's 1,000, so that's already built into this price as well. The Major Slayer count boost make it so you get 3 kills for every kill you get in Slayer zones. Have you ever wondered why people will do Slayers for like 30 minutes and then they're done, and they got all 7,500? This is why. And this is the fastest way to level in epics. This is how you go from level 20 to 30 in about 2 hours, is using these bad boys with XP potions. And then, of course, Astral Shards. 100 Astral Shards is worth somewhere like 500 points. So yeah. So if you get the Traveler's Trunk, you're getting, your 3,600 point value for this much. So again, the points are pretty commensurate. So it's a reasonable deal if you're looking for XP potions. If that's something you want to buy, feel free to stock up on these. I bought a bunch and I stocked up on them, and I don't regret it. Now, the last thing I want to talk about here is the Tomes of Heroic and Epic Learning. So the Tome of Heroic and Epic Learning, what that does is it makes it so that your character, if you have one down here, it increases the amount of XP you get for each dungeon that you do. The Greater Tome of Learning is 50% bonus on the first time you complete them in Heroics, and the Epic Tome of Learning is 25% bonus on the first time you complete them. Now, you'll notice that 50% bonus on the first time you complete them. That's basically an XP potion. Because if that Sovereign Pot's a 50% bonus, this is basically an XP potion on the first time you complete a quest. Except this applies to every quest, and it lasts forever on your character. If you're planning on reincarnating a lot on one character, and you're going to invest in one character, the Tomes of Learning, Greater Tome of Learning, and the Greater Epic Tome of Learning are better than XP potions in the long run, and almost as good as XP potions in the short term. So if you're investing in one character, you should have a Tome of Learning. It will change your life, and they're on sale right now. So it's something to think about because it is 35% off. And they're only like 1,500 points anyway. So it's like just over 1,000. It's a great deal, something to think about. Also, Autos boxes are on sale. Heroic Autos boxes are great. Epic and improved Autos boxes make me want to spit on the floor. They're gutless cash grabs and they suck. Epic Autos boxes should just give 8 million XP, and that should be it. There should not be an improved Epic Autos boxes. I don't like it. I think that if you're going to charge somebody to level boost, you should get them the whole way. The fact that this is the equivalent of like $50 and gives you 2 million experience points, which, by the way, can be earned in 30 minutes if you buy a Traveler's Trunk and go do some of the Slayers out in the world. Disgusting. Don't ever buy these. Waste of money. The heroic ones give pretty much give you a whole thing, but they should give you, like, heroic should be 4 million, epic should be 8 million, and that's it. I don't know why they didn't do that, but whatever. It is what it is. And then, yeah. So that's it. That's my review of all of the stuff that's on sale, and hopefully you find something interesting you want to buy, or you don't. But hopefully I was helpful to you. Also, what's up, Mixdorak? All quest bonuses, Tomes of Learning. Also, Tomes of Learning don't apply to Reaper XP. They only apply to base quest XP. Since it's only available on the Steam site as well, that would be a problem. Heroic or Epic? Heroic. It has a bigger impact, and Epics are shorter. Also, Epic, this only applies to dungeons. This won't apply to Slayers. So if you do Slayers and Epics, the Greater Tome of Learning doesn't apply, but you don't do Slayers and Heroics. Yeah, the Heroic Tome of Learning is better than the Epic one. So yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to share all that. That's my thoughts and opinions about it. I should probably just take that clip and put that into a YouTube video.